Germany in 1943 is not in a great shape. I think the presence of a big France should give it away, but let's take a look at this disaster save that's gone horribly wrong. Now, before we get into this, I want to be honest. I've played like 15 runs of this save, and only once did I actually manage to not die within the first 6 months or so. It's terrible, but you'll find out why. So let's go. I'll walk you through the problems we have here. First off, let's check the field marshal, who has too many armies, meaning his stats are bad. Most of this man's army is motorized, which in itself isn't a huge issue, but we also have no fuel. Without fuel, your motorized becomes useless. Hey. Peter Steele. What? You're supposed to be recording a video. Go away, I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends. If you're looking for a new game you can take with you anywhere, then I highly recommend giving Raid Shadow Legends a try. It's a game that's really captured my attention, and I think you'll love it too. What I really love about Raid is the collection aspect. There's over 500 champions in the game, each with their unique abilities and playstyles, and I just love collecting new ones and figuring out how best to use them in my teams. The fastest way to level these guys up is through farming the campaign. You can grind some XP, get some silver, and a bunch of artifacts all at the same time. One of my favorite champions in the game right now is Genbo the Dishonored. He's a real powerhouse with some seriously deadly attacks, and with him on your team, you can take on just about anything this game throws at you. Right now, Raid is running a special Valentine's Day themed adventure with the Raid Love Quest, and all you need to do to get involved is download Raid Shadow Legends from the link down below, copy your in-game player ID, and head over to the link on screen right now. There you enter your player ID and set out on this heartfelt quest running from February 14th to March 14th. But there's more. New players use my link or scan the QR code on screen and get a free starter pack with all this cool in-game loot. But now I really have to finish this video, but don't forget to check out the game. Secondly, he does have 11 armored under the field marshal, another 7 armored elsewhere, but his armor is spread out along the front line, so they're not concentrated. They're spread out all over the line. Armor that's not concentrated is not being used effectively. Of course, battle planning isn't gonna help, but I'll redraw the lines later. Let's move on. Logistics. Terrible. Your logistics are clearly unbalanced. Let me tell you why. You have 12,000 artillery in stock, but you're almost 30,000 infantry equipment short. This is not good, especially considering your templates don't need that much artillery, and this is a big one, you're producing way too much artillery. I see you've ramped up infantry equipment production, but it's probably late considering, you know, the production efficiency is not all that high. Anyway, these things happen. It's not a huge issue. Like, the rest of your stockpiles are all right, I'd say. While we're on the topic of production, why, for the love of God, are we spending 25 military factories and a whole bunch of aluminum and rubber making naval bombers when our problems really are not Navy related? Not nearly. So I suggest we get rid of these for now. We have 5,000 in reserve anyway, so bye-bye. What else do we have here? Infantry equipment, we need a lot of it. Like I said, we don't need that much artillery. I'm gonna slowly ramp down. We can ramp back up later. Improved small airframe, so fighters. This isn't terrible. I would go with something a little more machine gun oriented, but this is all right. The rest of the equipment, well, we're a lot of factories short, so we're gonna need trains. Not that many, but we're gonna need a couple. And the lowest priority, believe it or not, is going to be airplanes. Simply because, while CAS is king, CAS doesn't do much when there's no army to do the actual fighting. Oh, speaking of army, these trucks, yeah, let's put that back on 5 factories for trucks. Let's go down to 80 factories on infantry equipment, and yeah, we'll leave it as is for now. This is by no means great, but it should work, kinda, sorta, maybe. Next up, you're building a ton of heavy ships. Most of these have a lot of investment made already, so I'll let them finish. I'm gonna delete the other ones because it's a waste of 1 chromium and 2 steel plus time. For the cost of these 3 ships, you could probably pump out a whole lot of submarines, but I checked and you don't have any decent submarine templates, so I'm just gonna have the ones that are in the queue built. But there's another problem while we're on the topic of Navy. This is your Navy. See a battle cruiser here, 3 battle cruisers here, and this is what remains of the High Seas Fleet. You only have 20 screens left. You have fewer screens then you have capital ships, which is a big problem. So if I'm gonna have to build anything, I'll just start pumping out some destroyers while I wait, I guess. Anyway, like I said, the Navy's not gonna save our bacon. That is up to the Army. Speaking of the Army, we're producing medium tanks, advanced medium tanks. These are good tanks. Like, the design isn't terrible. I would tweak it a little bit for my tastes. Armor's probably fine, even for 1943. It's a pet peeve of mine to go with welded armor, but it is more expensive, slightly. But we do have a sufficient amount of tanks, so I don't think it's that bad to make these a little bit more expensive. And I like to make them a little bit faster. So probably a bit on the expensive side, but I'm gonna put these into production. What I dislike about your tanks, though, is 1, you don't have the improved medium cannon yet, so you're way behind the curve there. 2, oh no, that was actually it. Yeah, that was it. All right, let's look at the divisions in the field. So there's a whole bunch of templates here, but I think realistically you're using the motorized, so a modified version of the basic infantry template, I guess. I don't like this. All right, if you're gonna use motorized, use them as a spearhead, just a punch through somewhere and then spread out. So with a little bit more firepower, something like this. But Germany doesn't need this. Germany has tanks, so all that motorized is going to be converted back into this template. I like that you're using this template. It's a decent template. Bread and butter of the basic armies. This will hold the line. You can even remove this artillery if you're short on industrial capacity and artillery. Germany isn't. I would want to see support anti-air. I need to see support anti-air here. So let's fix that, because I just noticed we have no support anti-air. This is going to be pretty big, so I'm going to add 15 factories, and we'll tone it down later. Something like this, 25 on advanced mediums. All right, so we're going to convert everything into this infantry template. Then these are the tanks currently in the field, I think. My man, 20 with medium tank divisions are not tank divisions. This is garbage. Ideally, I would make this a 42 with sort of deal, but we don't have the infantry equipment for it. It's going to be a while before we do. So I'm going to make this quick and dirty. Going to go with 30 with. Still not optimal, but a lot more heavy hitting. Still good on the amount of organization. This thing will at least put some firepower downrange, plus good amount of breakthrough. I think this is what I'm going to roll with. I'm going to be short a couple of tanks, but I'll just combine some units and we'll be fine. Of course, I'm going to add support anti-air to this first as soon as we have some in stock. Then we have this here, army training. Yeah, it's fine, because believe it or not, I'm going to need a lot of units. Service by requirement. It sucks, but we'll keep it. I'm going to go to total mobilization. I'm going to fire Fritz tot. He's not that useful. Instead, let's get Walter Funk. The other guys can stay. I'm going to get IG Farben and Refining concern, because we do need some synthetic research. As you can tell, we're out of fuel. We need some fuel. You've hired most people, so Guderian, good. Halda, good. But you haven't hired a military command. I don't know why, because you have some really good picks. Von Rundstedt, army regrouping, very useful on the defensive. Rommel, armor genius, always useful. And then we can get an infantry expert, either Schorner, who's your basic guy here, or we take Maximilian von Weichs here. I know that you've added this one through the no step bat mechanics. I'm gonna hire him because he can still level up and his bonus improves when he does. So that at least fills out your military high command. As for your focuses, most of the stuff's done. I'm gonna stick with army training until I've been able to get more divisions out. I need more divisions. And then I'll probably grab some naval rearmament for dockyards so I can spam out some submarines, get a bit of a fleet going, because the high seas fleet took a beating. And with that fleet, I will try and sea line should we ever get control of the mainland. But not everything you've done is bad. Dear viewer, this man understands the Soviet Union, and he has full collaboration on the Soviet Union. Only problem is, I don't think he's even fighting on Soviet territory. When we do counterattack, though, this is going to be glorious. All right, doctrines. This is terrible. Never, ever pick desperate defense. By the time it comes down to the extra population this gives you, you've lost. If you're relying on this to save you, you have lost the game. So we're gonna go with modern blitzkrieg. Navy doesn't matter, but of course trade interdiction, we'll go into that later. Army doctrine, air doctrine also fully filled out. Yeah, CAS is king, but I doubt we'll have green air to make our CAS rain. And then these spirits of the army. I'm gonna go here with either state serves the military, but I don't need that much political power. Let's get with elevated engineering corps for the extra entrenchment speed, because entrenchment is what's gonna save us today. I'll also grab maneuver warfare, speed, and political loyalty for a little bit of extra stability. Navy, I'll just ignore for now, except maybe get submarine primacy. By the time I start resourcing subs, I'll get some bonuses. But the air, let's grab centralized control and industry liaisons, and that is it. What else can I do? I am going to get war bonds and hire women in the workforce. All right, let's also get the Emsland oil fields. More oil is always more good. Look at your construction. Yeah, you've realized your problems and you're building synthetics. I'm gonna let those build, and then we're gonna fill up with military factories. We need a lot more military factories because it is very late game already, and we have 105 civs. That's not great at this point of the game, and we only have 150 mils, so not terrible, but not great either. The only way I see, and the only way that I've tested that we can even remotely stand a chance at winning, is if on the western front we fall back to the Rhine position along with this river here. I think is it the Danube? I don't know if this is the Danube, but we're going to fall back here. We're going to give up Bayern. We're going to give up Vienna. We're going to fall back to the river. On that note, if you're ever in a position like this, just put a damn unit under Innsbruck, bottle them up here, and you shorten the front by a mile. So fall back to the rivers. In the east, I think if I can exploit the fact that there's very few Soviets here, we can set up on this river, push for some local supply hubs, and we can probably hold the Soviets. They're a little stronger in the south, but we can slow down the Soviets long enough. Then we have our armored units. I'm going to pull them out of Yugoslavia. I'm going to let Yugoslavia fall. They're probably going to die. It's going to cost us 36 divisions. That's unfortunate, but it's more important for me to use the armor to cut off this Turkish salient in the south, push to Istanbul, secure this front, and then use the armor to 1. Punch from Stuttgart back to the Swiss border so I can split off a Rhine front and an Alp front. 2. Use the armor to save my Balkan allies whenever I can, because these are really bad countries. They have armies, but they just don't know how to use them. And 3, when the armor has done all of that, I can finally start using it to kill the Soviets, create encirclements, cut their divisions to pieces, make large-scale encirclements, destroy their army, and slowly work our way into the Soviet Union. All we need is Stalingrad, Moscow, and Leningrad. When we get to that line, they will capitulate. If we can knock out the east, I can throw everything else on the west and we can still win. But we need to get that done. So I'm going to start splitting off my army. So I'm going to need 2 field marshals, 1 field marshal for the west, 1 field marshal for the east. We'll try to hold on to as much land as we can, but realistically, we will lose something. There's nothing that can be done about it. I absolutely want to hold on to Budapest because I want to keep Hungary fighting. They have 46 divisions. That's too much to just give up like that. Everybody has to fall back to the main line. Let's have Mordel do this. He has defensive doctrine. I'm also going to give him charismatic for recovery rate. We are going to lose the Reichskommissariat Belgian, so I'm going to request all of their forces. This will at least get some bodies on the line. I'm going to do the same with the Dutch. More troops is going to be helpful. I'm going to try and put as many units on the front as I can. All of the motorized is just going to be infantry. Speaking of motorized, you have an entire army stuck in Italy. Now, I can get them out, I think, if we can keep combat going in Genoa and manually retreat to Genoa, and from there retreat to the port of Thessaloniki. We can still get this army out, but it's going to be a gigantic mess. A complete mess. So these troops may not even survive the Mediterranean with all the enemy shipping in the area, but we're going to fall back with these units. Try to escape. That is at least the plan. Get as many of these divisions back out. Italy is lost. All right, so with the Western Front sorted, all I really need to do is just draw a big old field marshal order for the east, set an offensive line, because these guys will start attacking in about 6 months. All right, that is most of the army sorted. Another problem I found with the save, this button doesn't work. I can create expeditionary forces, which means I can ask Hungary, Romania, everybody else in my faction for troops to sort out some front lines. Button doesn't work, does nothing. If I could use this, I could get some Bulgarian troops, put them in position, get some Romanian troops, some Hungarian troops, put them in proper defensive positions where the AI can actually hold, but I can't. So my allies, air quotes, are going to get themselves killed. They're going to lose troops, equipment, manpower, and it's all going to come down to me. A little little old me. The tanks. We have about 18 tank divisions, maybe 19, because I think I saw another tank division somewhere. All right, 21 tank divisions that are motorized. I am going to move all of those towards the Turkish border. We are going to push for Istanbul, try to get this front sorted out. That will allow all of those Balkan miners to use their troops in positions that are a little more important. I know this is a lot to process. Trust me, it's a lot to process for me as well. One more thing, if you're at war and you don't have naval dominance, do not trade using convoys. It's going to get your war support completely destroyed. It hasn't yet, but it will soon. Air is not doing very well. I'm gonna stop all air operations for the time being, and I'm just gonna group them all up until I'm ready. Then I'm gonna throw all of my air up at the same time over Greece. I should be able to overpower the enemy fighters here and use the limited window I get to crush the Turks here. After that, I'll use the air where I can, but realistically, we will not have air superiority. Which sucks. Admittedly, it sucks. We have a couple more spies that are doing a good job. Rooting out resistance seems alright, and we're gonna put these guys up on the French border. Well, so much for saving these guys. I think I've just lost a bunch of divisions. Just hit a force attack. I don't know. Yes! Okay, so these guys are going to break out from Genoa. Rest of the front is reasonably okay. Once I get to the river, we'll be fine isn't the right word, but we'll be buying time. Before I forget, garrisons, high priority. We need to have our garrisons equipped, and I'm going to train as many divisions as I can. Like 72 divisions, at least 72 divisions. Need a lot of armies for this. Just deploy them in Prague. Highest priority possible. I know, the army in the field also needs a lot of equipment, but I need more bodies on the line. Before I unpaused, I should have checked research. Okay, maintenance company's good. I'm going to use this to steal some enemy equipment, and then I'm going to grab level 2 so I can get the easy maintenance, which gives me cheaper tanks. All right, so it's all right. It's all right. Mechs. This isn't going to do anything for you. Let's instead grab better artillery. Oil, good. Construction, all right. Modern tank chassis. Sounds good. Not what's going to save you today. Let's instead get anti-air. Rest of the research is fine. And looking at your research, most of it is in order. You got the infantry stuff, you got support companies, you got your engineers at least, you got logistics. Most of this stuff is okay. Air, a little bit behind, but nothing too terrible. Industry, well on top of it. So everything is more or less okay, just small details. And one thing I also just remembered, I'm going to put in a small production run of mechanized. I know, but I eventually want my tanks to have mechanized if we ever live that long. And a couple of the SS divisions you make via event have mechanized in them, so Now for the Russian front, I'm gonna try to exploit the fact that, well, the Russian front is a mess. Get as much out of it as we can. Counterattack while they are weak. See if we can push them, get some encirclements in. Starting to gather my tanks near Turkey. We're gonna go from Yambol and Burgas straight down to these two tiles, cut off Istanbul and the port here, and do all the damage possible, and hope to God we can hold. Every infantry leader as well as getting Ambusher if they can get it. Ambusher is going to save our bacon for the most of this run. Alright, so I managed to get most of the motorized out of Italy. Right, with most of the tanks in place, I'm gonna put up all my CAS and fighters over Greece. Logistics, strike, CAS, and air superiority. And I'm gonna throw my tanks into the meat grinder. And we're gonna try to go through Edirne, down to the sea, cut the front in half, and clean up. It should work. My armor should be able to penetrate. Like, see, the armor is gonna win this. I just need to get it done quickly enough before all of the Balkans fall. All right, with Edirne taken, I just need to keep attacking these weak units. As long as I keep attacking the weak units, they don't get reorganization, they don't get entrenchment, I can keep pushing those units, and at the same time make some pinning attacks elsewhere. I need Istanbul, I need this port, and that just closes an entire front for me. Right, with all the motorized having arrived here, I'm going to split off a couple of these guys. Let's see, we have 1 port, 2 port, 3 or 4 ports that I need guarding, so 8 units, and then another, yeah, let's split off 10 units that I will be using mostly to hold the line here against the Turkish front, plus guarding the ports. Everybody else gets shipped straight to the front lines. All right, now if I can just push Istanbul. will also clean this up because it's a nice little pocket we have here, but it needs to go. So we can clean that up, clean up Istanbul, frees up a lot of extra divisions so that we can fight over places like Thessaloniki and secure the southern Romanian front. Rest of the front, like, we're still losing, but we're losing slowly, which is enough for now. I can reinforce the line wherever I need to in other places. As long as casualties don't mount too much, we'll be fine. Fine might not be the right word, but we'll be okay. Should be able to push them off Constantinople soon. There we go. All right, we've pushed them off Istanbul. The armor is going to make a small counterattack against the Soviet line just to secure the position here. Maybe I can push up to there. The infantry is going to hold this, but some of them are going to be used to close this pocket. I don't need 3 will do. And then I'm going to use the rest of the infantry, once we've cleaned up this pocket, to guard the ports. The ports need to be guarded. The Soviet AI loves to naval invade. We got our maintenance company, so I'm going to add them to my infantry. All right, armor's in position. Counterattack on the southern Soviet front should be relatively easy. I mean, these guys aren't all that tough, so I'm going to roll the line back to the river. Should take the pressure off because I'm barely holding. It's costing me a lot of my command power doing these last stands. It's just not fun. Fortunately, the Soviets, the north at least, aren't that strong. I'm slowly able to push them to lines that are a little more defensible. Oh yeah, my armor's rolling them back here. I love to see that. At least we're making a decent amount of equipment every day. And losses, ooh, yeah, I'm no longer making airplanes, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I'm gonna hold this air in reserve until I take on the Soviets. There is virtually no Soviet air force, so I think I can still overwhelm the Soviets when I do my counterattacks. Yeah, at no point in this campaign have I felt really comfortable other than when I'm wielding these tanks. Like, these tanks should be able to achieve victory for me here, even if it's just localized. But the AI is just so bad. It keeps losing every engagement. I'm holding, barely, but I am holding. I'm getting pushed though. All right, since I can't do much in the Balkans, I'm bringing everybody home and trying to counterattack near Stuttgart. This is turning into quite the critical situation here. Though things should improve as I get more and more infantry out. The army is going to fill out. Eastern front is actually very steady. There's not a whole lot going on in the east, which is going to help a lot. I have a bulge across the Rhine. Need to clean that up first, push back through the Rhine, and then counterattack towards the Swiss border. My front is collapsing, but I am stabilizing it now that I'm forced deploying more and more infantry. So I almost have a full army on the border with the Allies, but there's a whole lot of troops there. The counterattack here is going reasonably well. We might be able to clean up that bulge. We're holding on to Hungary at least from... Oh my... Romania, no! I don't understand what's happening. Look, Romania has 44 divisions. Bulgaria has 37 divisions. Hungary has 45 divisions. Combined, they have a substantial amount of units. The Allies are just pushing with trash. They're completely sweeping them aside with trash. I'm about to lose Romania. There's nothing I can do. This front's completely screwed now. I don't have the troops to man these massive front lines. I think it's safer if I shorten the Soviet front to the extent that I give up Romania and parts of Hungary and just try to link up my Soviet and Allied fronts. So I am pretty much sitting in a big old circle here and then try to defend while pushing out on the Soviet side. I don't think the Soviets and Allies have mutual military access. Yeah, I'm gonna try a fallback to a new position. I'm giving up everything in the Balkans. Everything. It's not possible to hold. It's not worth trying to hold. The tanks are out before I lose them. All of these infantry guarding the ports, they've done a great job, a tremendous job. Love what they did with the place. They're also out. Don't have the luxury. I just don't have the luxury of tending to everyone's needs. I am leaving. Other than that, like, the tank counterattack here is actually going remarkably well. Like, remarkably well. The armor does an excellent job of holding and an even better job at pushing. If I can inch my way back to the Swiss border, I can split off 2 armies to hold the Rhine, 3 armies to hold the south, and then I can start reinforcing the east. When the east is up to full army group strength, I'm counterattacking the Soviets. I'm throwing all my tanks into the fray to deal with the Soviets. When the Soviets break, I can win this by sweeping the Allies off Europe. The lines are stable now. now. Hungary should survive with our help. Everybody else died though, so Greater Hungary not that great, but we'll fix that eventually. Soviet line, more or less not really a problem. The occasional counterattack, but I'll take Vilnius with the tanks. Just gonna sit tight on the Soviet front, attack when I see an opportunity, like super weak unit here, super weak unit there. My main force will try to cut the Switzerland, split the Allied front, and then I swing my tanks around to the Soviet front. I think I can kill the Soviets if I can just get to Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad. That should end the Soviet Union. I'm bringing the last armored reserves of the Reich to bear. It might just be enough. It might just be enough. Oh, but the terrain though, the terrain's not to my advantage right now. I did manage that breakthrough I was going for, and I'm going to use the armor to try and clean up the rest here. Maybe snake my way back to Munich, push the enemy back to these Alpine positions if I can. That would significantly shorten the line. If I can't, I'm taking my armor and I'm going towards the Soviet front. Soviets are super weak still. I will hit them and hit them hard. Try and push them back. I've managed to snake my way around their army while they were in disarray. So I have cut off that mountain pass below Innsbruck. Now, if I need, I can push from the north, take back Munich, push them all the way back, hopefully towards Wels, just shorten my line, and I'll be good to go. And I can finally divert some attention to the damn Soviet front. Some of these positions are still going to be tenuous though. As long as my org holds, I can always cycle units. The river's a real bonus. Oh, it's just the armor. The armor is the only reason I'll ever be able to do any of this. Yes! Armor made it to Munich first. All right. Now we just clean up. Now we play cleanup. I just pulled the Swiss in. Fortunately, the Swiss aren't that much of a problem, but they are a problem. Still, I am on the offensive now, which already feels a lot better. Let's keep production of everything up, and we should be good to go still. I am a little annoyed with Switzerland these days. It's very annoying that they constantly join the Allies. All right, I'm going to need to pull some last stands here. Last stand memory it is. So if you ever wonder how you pull last stand memes, select a single unit, give them a general, and then hit last stand. Now this unit will hold for 7 days or until it's destroyed, which might also be soon. All right, under the capable leadership of Rommel, who took over because he has some actual terrain traits, Mountaineer, which did help, and Improv Experts, which give him some bridges, I was able to create a small encirclement here in the Alps. It's by no means perfect. It's under a lot of pressure, but now that these guys are cut off, I can start cleaning this up. That will give me a stronger position to hold, and everything else is still stable. Like, the Allies keep pounding my lines. I've lost a lot of troops here, but they've lost way more than myself. All right, we're taking Innsbruck. We're taking Innsbruck. Oh, great. All right, that means these guys are all going to be out of supply. Again, tanks, not optimal for this job, but if it looks stupid and it works, it's not stupid. I'm gonna hammer that point home here. How about that? I've almost filled my infantry equipment deficit. All right, so I gave up trying to push the enemy out of this one tile. I just shored up the defenses around it and moved on. I'm gonna start picking the Russians apart. They are the weakest link here. We have the collaboration government. Gonna get my tanks some organization. I'm gonna start making big slicing pockets with my 18 armor divisions, and I'm going to carve them a new one. My supplies of infantry equipment have completely resolved themselves, so I'm getting fresh infantry divisions out. I'm still a lot of medium tanks short, yes, but things are improving. Let's see what the army looks like. I've also mostly got good medium tanks now, so a lot of Panthers in the field. So tanks are good. Everything is stable. Look at the green bubbles. It's just green bubbles. I do have to occasionally take a look at some weaker places, but all in all, everything is looking nice. Oh, I love medium tanks. Like, they're the best thing ever. Medium tanks. Love them. Love them to death. Make sure the infantry can keep up. And this is in the bag. This is the first blow we deal to the Soviet menace. It's not huge, but it is something significant. And that is how I intend to deal with the Soviet Union throughout the rest of this run. Carve their army up into teeny tiny little pieces using my armor. Look at the West every now and then to see if I'm not crumbling. And then continue to carve up the Soviet Union until they capitulate, which should be soon. They have 3 collaboration governments. This is actually probably going to be a lot of casualties for them. I don't even know how many divisions that was, but the number should be very positive on my end. Oh yeah, that was 350,000 men, give or take. Something tells me the Soviets don't actually have reserves left at the rate I'm punching holes in their lines. And that's the first massive cauldron we've achieved. Let's also carve south towards Mykolaiv and cut off the Soviet front some more. I may have overreached just a little bit here, but I think I'm still going to be able to crush this. Yeah, I've overextended here. Let's not make fools of ourselves. And I think with that, we've cleaned this pocket up. That's a good bite out of the Soviets. They are a little angry, though. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is what Hoi 4 is all about. Destroy the enemy everywhere we can. All right, Rommel's punching through. We're almost back at Kiev, and I think most of the Soviet army at this point is gone. Has to be just gone. This has been a glorious counterattack. God, my tank corps has taken a lot of casualties. Oh, I'm thousands of tanks short. I'm gonna have to start consolidating because these are just disgusting losses, and I'm not really making tanks as quickly as I'd like because I am all out of chromium and tungsten apparently. And tanks have made it. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I've taken massive, massive casualties on these tanks, and it's getting hard keeping everybody supplied. I don't think I have a choice. I'll have to just go up to all adults. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. Well, it's typical. My tanks are charging towards Kursk for another massive encirclement and naval invasion. Ooh, things are getting spicy. Encirclement is almost complete. Just need a little more, one more tile. Come on, give me that tile. All right, encirclement complete. Just gonna force redeploy all those units, and the armor is going home. They have a very, 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 very important job to do right now, and I will force deploy these units as soon as they're available as well to help contain that. Oh God, I should have responded sooner. Oh, I need that armor in position. Infantry is cleaning this up nicely, so at least the Soviet front is still going well, more or less. I need that armor home, and I need that armor home right now. This instant. All right, start counterattacking. Start counterattacking now. Oh, Berlin is threatened. Can't have that. Save Berlin. Save Berlin. Whew. Well, the armor is getting home, so we should be able to clean this up. Provided the Allies don't land every man, woman, and child they have in military service here. Oh my God, look at the massive stain. Still, my mediums should be able to take this. Should be able to take this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Push him back. Push him back. Push him back. Should be able to do this. This is my country, not yours. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. There we go. Naval invasion has been encircled. Yes! Push them right back out to sea. Okay, so now it's just a matter of cleaning this horrific mess up. Oh, I really thought I was gonna die there for a second. It is unfortunate to see Norway go. They've been a very stalwart ally. Oh! Sweden just joins the Allies. And we're now at war with the Swiss. It is what it is. I'm gonna try and push across if I can manage that. If I can't, so be it. I'll sit on Copenhagen and hold that front. Switzerland is not a priority. Just gotta kill the Russians. If I can kill the Russians, I have the troops available to me to do everything else. And speaking of the Russians, the fact that I'm just battle planning my way to Moscow with my tanks now kind of shows that they're spent. They're actually spent now. It's getting a little tough here. I am at the very edges of my supply lines, but the Russians is just a matter of mopping up. Allied offensives have pretty much stopped, and all these Russian forces that are still in what was left of Romania have now been completely cut off. I'm not sure they can resupply through Allied territory, but I doubt it. I need the Soviet Union dead. I think to that end, I'm just gonna launch a full-scale infantry offensive. Incredibly expensive, but the tanks are spent. They're dying faster than I can replace them. And despite me, oh, I thought I had naval dominance here. I guess not. Has my fleet gone to port? Oh, my fleet's busy, and as a result, the AI has naval superiority. More naval invasions! Yay! Not great. Fortunately, I'm starting to get some infantry built that can guard my coasts. I hate this. I just want this campaign to be over at this point. I can win. I'm very confident that I can win. I just don't want to be playing this anymore. I hate these naval invasions. I'm dealing with one and getting smothered by the other. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I hate this so much. I can deal with the AI, but I can't deal with the AI's incompetence. And the tanks are taking incredible amounts of damage, and I'm not even able to stop all of the invasions. It's not fun, right? I'll get it sorted. This is pain. This is so much pain. All right, so I've got that entire naval invasion cleaned up. What? Let's not look at it. Let's just not look at it. The armor can clean this up. So it looks like I am completely unable to stop these naval invasions. I don't have naval dominance anymore because my fleets decided not to be fleets anymore. Allies are landing troops pretty much everywhere, and I can't stop them quickly enough. Like, it's gotten to that point. I just don't want to play anymore. It's not fun. It's not challenging. It's simply frustrating at this point. That's it. It's pure frustration now. The fun's gone. The challenge is gone. This is just... I'm just angry. Okay, so with micromanagement, fury, hatred, and a burning desire to never touch this game again, I fixed it. The massive invasion in the center just kind of petered out since they ran out of ports. I cleaned up with some infantry, smashed my tanks into the Netherlands, smashed my tanks up north here. I've since deployed another massive batch of infantry just to keep these damn ports secure. And I think we can actually hold these positions. So now it's up to the armor to clean up the rest. My armor is now degraded to the point I'm 5,000 units short. I am going to try and fix as much of this as I can by simply combining divisions. Well, I just gave up clever planning. I've distributed my entire air force along the eastern front and set the front line to go. And now with renewed impetus, my army can strike forward again. I had a very bad year there. It was a very bad year for me there for a little bit, but I think we've got him now. I've said that like 7 times over the course of this campaign, but the Soviets are gone now. They're not coming back from this. It's over. It's finally over. I beat the Soviets. Well, what do we do now? I'm gonna start by stealing their fleet because I can, and now I have no idea how to proceed. Absolutely no idea. All right, so Bulgaria got a bit of oh, Bulgaria's back. Oh, that's not gonna last. So we have a very large Soviet puppet now, or Reichskommissariat Moscovian, and a whole bunch of very bad borders that we will now need to man. This is going to be annoying. Bulgaria came out of this one all right, I guess. And with the pressure of the Eastern Front lifted, I'm just gonna set up very weird and wacky defensive lines on my border with Turkey, and then there's a border up here with Iran. Just gonna set up 2 defensive lines there. The other parts of the Soviet Union, I don't think touch anyone who wants to invade me, so I'm gonna ignore them, and I'm gonna swing my entire might towards crushing the Allies, getting them out of my country. It's going to be the German resurgence. It's over, and I've cracked into Italy. Gonna rush my tanks down into Italy, retake as much of it as I can, split my front in half. Gotta go, 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 go. This is the moment of truth. If I can exploit this, I can do massive amounts of damage. Just gotta be able to exploit the gap I've made here. I have enough tanks to make this happen. Allies are mobilizing to stop me, but my tanks are pushing them faster than they can get entrenchment. Look at this. Look at them go. Oh, I'm on. Go, 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 go. Come on. Get an encirclement. Get an encirclement in. Destroy those divisions. Oh, got him. Got the bastards. So that is the majority of the allied armies in Italy gone in that pocket, and the momentum just carries us. We have an ally back on the map. Oh, and a bit of a pocket here. Let's clean that up so we can redeploy those units. I didn't think it would be this good. I knew the tanks would do great, but I didn't know. I didn't know they'd be this great. A hop and a skip, and I'm in Messina. Yes! That is Italy back under control, baby. And now we swing the armor up north, and as long as there's not too many divisions here that manage to get entrenchment, I can pretty much keep pushing. There goes Regno del Sud. Perfect. Send the armor on through. Let's push into France next and keep going. Oh, they're in disarray. They are so in disarray. I need to start an offensive from the north. It's going to be expensive. An offensive from the south using my armor, and we can overrun the French. Look at the tanks go. Zoom, zoom. Once we punched past their front line, it's just, there's nothing. There's nothing there to stop me. Absolutely nothing there to stop me. Oh, this is it. Look at it. Our allies are reappearing on the map. Allied casualties are soaring. Very high casualties on my end as well, but... Oh, so this is what it's like to be winning. Spain's probably not an issue, and once Spain has fallen, it's just the Balkan front, and with the Balkans gone, I can stop playing this video game. A very great deal of my airplanes have been shot down, but it's at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. I can win. I'm going to win. I'm gonna crush them. Look at Spain fold. They have nothing. And there goes Spain. I am now in control of the entire damn continent. Except for the Balkans, of course. The Balkans are next on the chopping block. Let's just make sure we secure all of our ports. Gotta secure the full front line. The final few tiles of the Swiss, and they'll be out of my hair as well. I think I got one collaboration government on the Swiss. At least I don't have to take every single tile. Thanks to the fact that the AI doesn't understand the concept of interior lines, once you've punched through, yeah, the armor can really keep going as long as it has supply. Just get this over with. Take as much land as we can. Attack, 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 attack. Of course, naval invasions. Of course. What was I thinking? How could we not have naval invasions? Oh, yes. The armor. I love this armor. So we've got that entire Balkan mess cleaned up. Just Turkey now. Gone. The allied armies in Europe are crushed. Absolutely annihilated. 10 million Axis casualties against 38 million casualties, almost all of them inflicted by yours truly. You know what? I will Sea Lion, at least try to Sea Lion, and that's it. After that, we're calling this, we're ending this campaign after the Sea Lion. There we go, Sea Lion underway. Fortunately, we do have a massive fleet, so this should blow anything else out of the water. Well, so much for the vaunted English pride. There we go, the fall of London. Let's mop the rest of this up, and we can end this campaign on a win. I am really done with this campaign. I'll be honest with you guys. It really vexed me. There we go. Oh, Panama. Okay. There we go. We turned it around. We've retaken Europe. Yes, the allies are still there, but it's 1948. I really don't want to have to fight the rest of the world at this point. Axis big. Allies also big but smaller, and China and Japan still locked in a death struggle that doesn't seem to be ending soon. Anyway, I absolutely hated this campaign, and I hope you guys at least have enjoyed my suffering. If you like this video, I hope you check out one of my other ones, and I hope you have a great day. See ya.